I've driven across country about 5 times minimum, maybe more, I can't remember, but at minimum 5 times. And what I notice when I'm driving across country is that I never make it through exclusively during the sunshine, during the daylight hours. That never happens. And then, secondly, another thing that never happens is that I never make it through without rain. There's always rain. Now, I don't like driving in rain. Most people probably don't. I don't like driving around 16 wheelers. Right now, I'm by four 16 wheelers. And when you mix rain and 16 wheelers and nighttime, it's fairly unpleasant. But one thing I know for sure, it says headphones and sound is good. Perfect. One thing I know for sure is that there will always be 16 wheelers, rain, and nighttime on that drive. There's also going to be sunshine, good weather, beautiful scenery, friendly people, and good music, which is to say, life is both of those things. If you get comfortable with the fact that all those things, if you get comfortable with the fact that all those elements, the entire spectrum of human life, good and bad, will always be there, you become a master of it. But here's the thing, the reason I'm good at it or I can deal with it is because I've done it so many times. Like most people haven't driven across the country 5 times. I think I've done it more, but 5 trips come to mind right now. So I know what to expect. And when you can expect, that is anticipate, then you can dominate, you see. You can design around those challenges. Most people are living a life, they're not designing a life. Designing a life of your life, your affairs, your success. Most people are just going with the flow. No, I refuse. I'm trying to create the flow. You see, let's create the flow and then we can go with the flow. But no way shall I go with a flow that I don't like or that I didn't write. Huh? Come on now. Shout out to Gravity Films supporting the work. We'll come to that in a second. Major Minus Soul says, thank you for this. I have a very serious question. I'm on the Discord call when you are ready. I am indeed ready. Let me go ahead and pick this up. Now that I'm on headphones, I don't know if that's going to be audible to the YouTube audience, but I'm ready to go. So go ahead and talk to me. Let me turn you up a little bit. All right, go ahead. Oh, yeah, let me put you on speaker. I think maybe we're not on speaker. Talk to me.
All right, so I really feel like we could do a whole live on this, but let's do it here. I have a friend with a deadbeat
Dang.
dad.
And everybody got a cousin or a friend that's a deadbeat dad. They asking for their cousin or their friend. But in your case, I know you're sincere because I've observed your work. I've observed you being there and being a great example. But on a serious note, we have an actual friend that's a deadbeat dad. All right, go ahead.
Yes, and it's not just a random friend, it's somebody who I consider a brother, somebody I grew up with, who I truly care about. The problem is, I should not know that he's a deadbeat dad. I say that because I only know because his baby mamas with an S, because there's 3 of them.
That's good. By the way, for the YouTube audience, please confirm that you can hear the Saint right now. I got him on speaker. I'd love for you to be able to hear him in his words. So if anyone in the live chat can confirm that you can, in fact, hear this member speaking, go ahead, talk to us.
All right, so his baby mamas, for whatever reason, keep telling me about his BS.
Okay.
So the problem is, I know so much about him now that I have a hard time acting like I don't. He calls me, we have no personal issue, but he doesn't know what I know. So it's hard for me to be honest around him, and I don't know how to be like, yo, your baby mama's been telling me this, that, and the third, because I'm not a chatty patty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the problem is, I know a lot of really effed up stuff that he's done and said towards his children, and I really don't want to associate with it. But I don't know how to tell him that without making it seem like I've crossed the line and spoken with his baby mom, things like that.
Number one, we all know that males are extremely sensitive about their women. Males and men, very sensitive about their women. Generally, I say keep your distance. That's usually the best case scenario. You hear me? I don't want to shake hands. I don't even really want to high five. You know, I'll acknowledge her if she's present, but low key, I really don't have anything to say. And that's usually the best way to keep it. So that's number one. Number two, in all things, we have to ask ourselves, what is our outcome? What's our desired outcome? So is your desired outcome to get a better uh, situation for the baby mother? Pick one of them. Or is your outcome to get a better situation for the child, meaning better treatment for the child from the father? Or is your desired outcome to stay out of it entirely? And those are just options. There are probably many more, but what is your desired outcome? First, I say your, even though you're not actually in the situation, but thinking of yourself first as a priority. Three Sins Bible: be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. So first off, what's best for you?
I think personally, what's best for me is if my friend was a good dad. Honestly, I've known a lot about him for a long time, and I've tried to just subtly be an example, be the right person, and hope that it rubs off a little bit. And to a degree, it has. But at this point, if that's not possible, where he could be a good person, really, then I would love to have him in my life. My daughter calls him uncle. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to have him in my life. But if he's gonna keep doing that, then I feel like I have to disassociate. And I'm straddling that fence. Do I pretend like I don't know stuff so I can keep my friend or my brother in my life, or do I annex him overwards?
See, that's a really good question. So this is how I would take it. Number one, if these women came to me giving me these stories that are not my business, I would have heard them out the first time and then said, "Hey, I appreciate you having enough trust and respect to reach out to me. If I can help, if this is like a very dangerous situation to any of the persons involved, yes, I can take some action as a man. However, if this no one incarcerated or causing significant bodily harm or fatality, then this is not something that would cause me to get involved in another man's affairs. I appreciate you giving this information to me, but I will have to politely ask you to find another source. If you need counsel, then you should probably get a counselor or get counsel from your father. If you need resources or something like that, that's different. I might be able to support in that way, but we'd want to get that cleared with him and bring him in on this conversation because it's not.
And just open my app and here I go with the whole diatribe and screenshots and all this BS. I'm like, why are you telling me? And half of them are like, well, you inspired him and da 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 da.
Right.
I'm like, but they're listening, so what do you want me to do? So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's gonna drag you. I mean, it's a compliment, but it's also there's two other pieces when women are bringing you into things that don't directly involve you. Number one, women will often bring together coalitions. Sometimes it's a coalition for evil. You feel me? Sometimes it's a coalition that's just going to drive gossip and create a greater, bigger conflict. Next thing you know, fighting and inter-male conflict is going to arise out of a woman's words. It started with a woman's words, ended with a man's fists. And they drum up drama in that way. Sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously. They might have wanted you to fight on their behalf. It was like, okay, now you got me fighting my friend, whether it's verbally, argumentatively, physically, or otherwise, or morally. You know, that could be one thing. And then on the other side of a woman bringing you in to something like that, now this might be something that drags you down. I'll give you an example that this was the case. But I had a friend we call Crazy Rob. I call Crazy Rob, not we actually. I was the only one calling him Crazy Rob, and he's an active gang member. Real only one that could get him to not tear somebody's head off. So she was like, "You're the only one he'll listen to. Like, I need you to get him to stop doing all this stuff he's doing. He's in and out of jail. Um, you know, something's got to change. You're the only one that can do something. I need you to talk to him. I need you to spend time with him. I need you to do X, Y, and Z." And that's my man. You feel me? That's my man. We grew up together. We've done dirt together. We've taken serious chances together. But the fact of the matter is, a tie doesn't change his stripes, and that's how that young man got his relevance in the world. My relevance was from being a hustler. His relevance was from being a knockout artist and a gangster. So he's not about to give up his identity because his mom didn't like it. And he had already, by that time, done a lot of time behind the walls. And so the walls don't scare him. So I knew that in spending more time with him, I was going to end up in more BS. And like I did end up getting stabbed up one time over a situation that he basically had. It was his situation. These essays end up catching me and stabbing me up over the situation. And so I realized that, if I stay involved in this, even if I'm trying to help, I'm here in a helping capacity. You cannot walk through water and not get wet. Like as my grandma would say, you think fat meat ain't greasy. Nah, you're not gonna deal in things that are low and not get a bad outcome.
Thank you. I have one just last follow-up question. So, would you tell him what you know? Maybe not in specifics, but would you tell him that, listen, I just want to talk to you about this. You're reaching out to me. The reason why I ask is, I wish I could talk to him about it. It's so close, and I feel like I could. But as you said, Ben is so defensive. I really do feel like this might end up a fight between me and my best friend, and I really don't. And I really don't need that. From a soul perspective, I really don't need that. But I feel as if it should be talked about. I feel like that's the only way forward is either to disassociate and actually talk about it. So
Can do you dirty. So I was asking, okay, well, what are my feelings? Sometimes following your feelings is a good thing. Other times following your feelings is a dangerous thing. So I got a lot of homies I grew up with. They all have pierced ears. I don't have pierced ears. You think they didn't notice that? I got a lot of homies I grew up with. Whether the truth, me telling them the truth isn't going to be any more impactful. I got to re-explain that verbally. Nah, they know what's up. Some shit that his baby mom's already said to him. You about to reiterate some shit that he knows when he looks in the mirror. As a result, you might feel better. You might feel better because you get to express the self, and we all want to be self-expressive. That's our human nature, but our greater nature says, okay, I might feel like expressing the self, but if my words will fall on deaf ears, let me keep my words to myself. They're better inside of me than out in the world. Better inside of me than out in the world.
wow. Yeah, that's spot on. That's spot on. I was definitely in my head. I'm just worried about the fight thing because I know there's a side of him that he doesn't show me. He's one of those people where with women, apparently, I mean, I haven't seen it, but
Right.
that's the part where my trepidation, I have trepidation because I don't want to trigger that side of me, that side of him in front of me, because I know I'm not about to just sit back and let it be. And I don't want to fight my friend. So, but you're absolutely right. I'm going off of how I feel. And at the end of the day, I think I just need to leave this alone. I really do. I think I just need to leave it alone.
I trust that you have some goals written down somewhere, or at least in your head, and none of your goals involve, uh, being a free therapist for a grown man with baby mama drama. I'm guessing your goals might involve, like some real estate, maybe some fancy cars, maybe some big money, maybe growing your family, things like that. So, it's probably better to focus on those beautiful parts of life.